Дубль 2. Друзі, ми продовжуємо робочий день. Тема наступного прес-брифінгу.
Dear friends, we continue our working day, and topic of our briefing is Business Festival of Freedom, All Our Lives Again. We have
Раз. Дубль 3, надіємось.
Okay, this is the third attempt. We start our press conference. Business Festival of Freedom, All Our Lives is a Game. We have Andriy Moroz, Tatiana Shvatska, organizers of the festival, and Sergiy Grygorich, founder of the Game World IT development company. Good afternoon. On October 24th, we will have a business festival of freedom, All Our Lives a Game. It will gather around 2,500 of participants. This is first all Ukrainian platform uniting investors, startuppers, and entrepreneurs. To participate in the festival, you should register on businessfest.org or businessfesters.org. We will have 3 zones: zone of startups, zone of full of the stories of success. You will share lessons with those who have already implemented successful projects in our country. And now I'm happy to introduce Sergey Gregorovitch, who is the pioneer in IT development in Ukraine and in game industry. He is a headliner of this event. He will hold a workshop, All Our Life is a Game. He will describe how to create games, and he is one of the successful startuppers. He began from scratch, created successful company, and with his own example, he showed that information technologies could be successfully created today. He created games, The Stalker in the Cossacks. He started his business at the age of 16. He knows how to warn the entrepreneurs from his own mistakes, which he experienced. I would like to say a couple of words what was the rationale behind this event. This year we attended Alerom Consulting is an event organized for the entire Ukraine, and via this event we have shown to the entire world that we have a lot of people working here today and who are successful. Business Fest of Freedom, this is a continuation of our idea, a bit idealistic idea that we can be successful in this country. We will present the exhibition of electric cars. We will present the exhibition of startups, and we will unite those people who have ideas and who are ready to create something here and now. We will have companies, software companies developing IT products and who work as outsourced companies. You know that Ukraine is takes the first position in the world among outsourced companies. This is a huge potential for our country. We wish to create a good informational field and be able to demonstrate to all the investors around the world that in Ukraine, this is a very promising market in Ukraine. We have some problems. Protection of property, protection of investments, we have issues with taxation, and people are scared to invest in the country. That is, we have to fight for our rights, and we suggest tax vacations for the investors in IT sphere. Why it is important for us? Because we believe this is a huge potential for our country, and this is one of that important whales to able to bring cash, money cash to flows to our economy. Being united, we are able to raise the country just now. I want everybody to see that a huge number of people can come together and demonstrate that we continue our work, that we haven't left the country, that we are promising future for the country. Just a couple of words about our event. Sometimes you hear that it is not important what you do now. It is important for you to understand why you are doing this. And the festival, which will be held on October 24th, this will be the first festival among the next, which will be held with periodicity of 3 months. The objective of this festival is to present creative people, to allow investors to find interesting startups and find opportunities to realize their projects. There is a number of people ready to support young startups. That's why we expect this event to be even more important than you can imagine. You should visit it to see what opportunities it will give to other people. I would like to speak in more detail about the program. The event will comprise several zones. The zone of startups comprising 54 startups. Then there will be arena of ideas representing successful ideas. There will be an exhibition of electric cars with exhibited 32 cars, electric cars. There will be second startup area, which are intended to be an exhibition, a demonstration of startups. Actually, we do not request any fees from participants. We are grateful to our sponsors, and the only paid event will be Sergey Gregorovich's workshop, and we will later pay part of this money to the HIV/AIDS fund. This is not a profitable event. This is just a social project for start-uppers and for potential investors. And we would like to give this opportunity to see that people are working and they stay in this country, and that we are happy to do this. Sergiy, maybe you will add a couple of words if you wish me to speak. I would like to add that for me personally, it would be interesting to share my experience, and I wish to share my skills, my knowledge, and I always like to make public statements, and I expect it to be interesting communication for people. I spent my big part of my life playing the Cossacks game. Could you mention top 3 lessons which you learned in your life which resulted in your success? It won't be the lessons, a summary of my experience. I will describe how I resolved the problems that I faced, and I will also show what had not to be done, what had to be prevented in the past, to warn some people against the mistakes. And before we start our Q&A session, you asked to show teaser, and now can we see the teaser? Thank you. Thank you for this video, and now we start our Q&A session. I will start it with a question about technical details. I have noticed that you have website. We have on Facebook. We are present in Vkontakte business. freebusiness.org. Also, on our Facebook page, we describe our preparation process. We inform about speakers and panelists whom we have invited, and then we will monitor the event. Also, registration and dissemination of tickets could be get only from the website, and you are able to buy tickets by October 23rd. I have heard that part of the participants will be able to get to the festival free of charge. How much we will need to pay? The startup area is free of charge. The arena of ideas is also free of charge. All the communication areas, communication events like meeting tables will be also free, and only Sergey Gregorovitch masterclass will be charged to visitors. The prices are not high, and 60% of tickets are already sold, so please order tickets in advance. Dear colleagues, if you have any questions, you are welcome. Kristina, UCMC, they say that Kiev is full of festivals, etc. Whether you plan to organize similar festivals in oblast centers, and do you expect to involve startups from other areas, not just only IT? The IT industry is quite big. These are game developments, software developments, but when we invite the projects to our event, we look at energy saving systems. As you can understand, the electric cars exhibition is not accidental. We believe that environmental protection and everything related to it is extremely important. Sir Richard Branson once said that those who deal with energy saving today, they will be the lords of the world 50 years later. Very soon we will have the energy saving, we will present energy saving projects, and we try to involve our big partner, Andriy Kaladyuk and Lucha Capitals. His company will assist us in inviting and gathering projects. Currently, we have rather difficult times for IT companies. During the last 3 weeks, we observed rather strange things, and we hope that this will finish very soon, because if this is not stopped, then we won't have any companies very soon here. About the cities, now we involve big IT companies from other cities to Kiev. We have invited Dnipropetrovsk, Lvov, Odessa, Kharkiv. In all those cities, they have outsource office of Blizzard and other big companies. The majority of that companies work in the country illegally due to improper legislation. For us, it is important to protect the interests of that companies. One of the topics which will be raised at the event, this is creating of some block which will allow to protect the interests of IT industry. what location in Ukraine you believe to be the IT hub? By recent past, I thought that even Mariupol was a good place for IT development. Unfortunately, today, IT companies have relocated from Mariupol. But in reality, we have many companies in Kharkiv, in Lviv, in Dnipropetrovsk. This is big potential. I can say even more. There are around 500 successful companies working based on outsourcing. They have either opened or closed offices, but the issue is that this is huge potential. There is a huge money which could be received by this state budget. But now the majority of those companies cannot develop properly because of improper taxation, because of improper legislation in the country. There are a lot of investors who are afraid of investing money to our country. We wish to create favorable climate and favorable grounds for investing. I believe that we have good professionals with good ideas who can change the trend. We occupy the fourth position in the global rating on outsourcing. I won't raise the question about legality, about legislation. You can visit our briefings on reforms, and you will know who are the biggest who are the biggest investors in the Ukrainian IT sectors. Could you mention such countries? Probably the United States take the first position, Russia takes the second position, and all the last countries invest lesser. We have Swiss banks as our clients, and we make software for the Swiss banks. These are our companies who produce this software. Thank you. I would like to remind Christina that it's me who is the moderator of this briefing. Mr. Andriy mentioned that we have issues with legislation, with taxes in the eyes of foreign companies, how we can improve these things. And on the other hand, since you are people who communicate with investors, how do you think, to what extent the war in the East deters them from investing to Ukraine? So the first question about improper taxation. The biggest problem is that when we compare our taxation system with the taxations abroad, paying legal taxes takes 80% of your income. And IT industry, this is actually human resource, and the biggest part of your income goes to pay to these people, and the second part is marketing. And if you work legally in this country, you won't earn a penny. And the biggest problem is that the majority of companies work illegally here. We should transfer this to legal field, but in order to do this, we should simplify taxation system. Though, for example, investors who invest in our country, we should allow them to take tax vacations. We should have single tax for all the business areas. I understand that this is not right. There are companies who invest 5 kopecks and earn millions of dollars. Even now we have these miracles in the country, but this will allow the country to make people to pay taxes, and the state will develop on behalf of this IT sector. Now, nobody pays attention to the IT business. We wish to attract as much attention as possible. And about the war, whether the war in the East is an important criteria for investors. Let's recollect Southern Korea. When Korea was split into 2 states, they overcame that crisis. The post-war Germany, they passed that stage within 10-15 years. They overcame that economic blockade. That is, people survived even harder times. Today, I do not see any problems in Ukraine in terms of this bad combination of the war and crisis, which I do not see any obstacles to move forward. We should study the experience of other countries, take this case and go forward together. Now, majority of people living in our country, they do not, they have no confidence in future. Everywhere in the companies, people say, we want to earn money here and now. And due to this, due to events like this, we create positive communication fields where people get convinced that we can live and here successfully. Sergey, maybe you would add something about the war. Of course, it is a very negative image, very negative situation. Investors are always scared with the war, and investors now wish to escape from Ukraine. They wish to have financial interests, but they want not to have too many risks. As for the economic preconditions for breakthrough, I think that we have many economic preconditions. If in the nearest future we manage to stop the war, then very quickly we might be able to make a breakthrough due to the third country. And in that example with Germany and Korea, there was the third party. Why the IT industry has to play here leading role? Because we have a good IT school, we have good HR here, good resources, and the marginal earnings could be high here. That's why I see all the components for success. Tanya? Well, do you have any further questions? There are this probably the last question to Sergey. is a Cossack game fun? I would like to ask questions whether you plan to create some similar game closer to today's events, something like separatists. I have my brother who is now developing a new version of Cossacks, and I believe that new version of the Cossacks game, version 3, will be close to today's events. I'm not sure what he's thinking about, but I think he's moving fast, and next year you will see new version, third version of Cossacks game. Very concise question. Sergey, could you mention what do you expect after the workshop which you're going to deliver? Whether those people who would come, what you wish them to do? The top objective, my top objective, super objective, is that at least several people in the room during my master class will get inspired in result of my master class, and if in a long-term future, some 10 years later, they would come and say, "You inspired me, and I became successful." I would to be happy. For a long period of time, Ukrainian economy was very closely related to the metallurgy, coals, etc. And now you try to bring IT into the light and show that IT could be the foundation of Ukrainian economy. I don't think that it could be a foundation, but it could be the vector. There should be a push. There should be the impulse for the development, the momentum for the development. We have good potential. We have good people and having fundamental mathematics education, but we do not have platforms. For a platform, we need big companies, big market players, or investments which allow the vector to start and to develop. I will answer this question very simply. Many people continue to speak while we are doing all the time, because we are not indifferent to what's going on in the country. That's why we hope that our initiative will give birth to Ukrainian Silicon Valley. I think that this may be a good goal for all of us. Dear friends, okay, let's finish with this, and if you have similar projects in the future, Ukrainian Crisis Media Center will be happy to see you. Thank you. Our next briefing will be at 2:40.